Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com. I'm also the author of Fearless Tarot, How to Give a Positive Reading in Any Situation, which is out from Llewellyn Books now. So if you like my positive approach to tarot, this book is going to be a life changer for you. It's time for this week's Oracle Reveal. So earlier today on Instagram, I placed up a photo with 3 different animals, and I asked you to use your intuition and ask yourself which animal's calling to you, because that animal has a message for you. And the 3 animals were the hawk, the dolphin, or the porcupine. So if you're just joining us, ask yourself quickly which animal's getting stuck in your head, because that is the animal that has your message. And then the hawk spirit, if you've picked that, it says, let spirit be your guide. And hawk is the messenger of the animal kingdom, akin to Mercury, the messenger god or the god of communication. And in astrology, Mercury has to do with how you communicate, how you think, what you're placing your focus on, and also how you reveal yourself to the world. And so this could be a time to use your voice or to really conjure up something important for you at this time that needs to be expressed to others. And finally, hawk tells you that the way to heal relationships is especially through communication. So this week, really be mindful of how you're speaking, how you're portraying yourself. When you're done interacting with people, you want people to say, I feel better. I don't know why, but I just feel great having interacted with that individual, instead of the opposite. For hawk, the best thing for them to place their focus on this next week is the 3 of Pentacles, which is a card of learning, mastery, and perfection of a skill. And although the 3 of Pentacles encourages you to perfect something, it doesn't want you to confuse it with being perfect. So this could be a time where there is a work in progress, and that needs to be okay with you. And in fact, the joy of making this work in progress develop should be taking precedence over an expectation that it needs to be a finished product right away or perfect right now. The 3 of Pentacles is also a card of manifestation. It's a card of planning something, and from its inception, really coming up with a strategy to make it real, to make it grounded or manifest in the world. And we can see that with the plans that the figure is being handed by the priest here. You can see that he's building the exact thing that's drawn on those plans. And so this could be a time when you're writing out your goals. You're really kind of coming up with a strategy as to how you're going to attain this. Second card is advice from your inner wisdom this next week. If you picked hawk and you got the 5 of Pentacles or 5 of Cups, and the 5 of Cups has to do with that sort of trance of negative thinking that sometimes we can fall into. The figure on this card is looking at 3 spilled cups, and he's neglecting the 2 that are standing behind him. And a lot of times this card will come up when we're really focused on a loss or a disappointment or something that isn't right or isn't perfect. And when I see 5 of Cups next to the 3 of Pentacles, this card is telling you to watch out for sabotaging yourself by over-picking at something or trying to make it so perfect that the perfect is the enemy of the good. Instead, it's important to realize that, yeah, there might be something that's disappointing or it may not be 100% ready, but that all is not lost. And 5 of Pentacles is saying, get out of the trance of negative thinking. Get out of kind of like that place in your head where suddenly 20 minutes has been robbed of your day and you're aware and you're feeling like crap. Instead, really focus on the job at hand. Get to work. Get something going. And then finally, we have the mythic archetype that can help you if you picked hawk, and we got Chiron. He is so akin to the 3 of Pentacles because he's the teacher in Greek mythology. He's the one who teaches the heroes. He's also a healer. And when I see Chiron next to the 5 of Cups, it could be a time where you're healing old emotional wounds, that you're starting to divert your attention from something that was a loss or a perceived loss. And instead, now you're investing your energy in learning, expanding your mind, or growing. This is a wonderful week to invest in healing yourself emotionally, mentally, and in all ways. The second animal we have is the dolphin spirit, and it says this and that are true. And so dolphin is encouraging you not to have all or nothing thinking, where it's either all wrong or all bad, or it's all good, or it's all this. So dolphin's telling you to watch out for extremes. And also dolphins are among the most intelligent animals on the planet. So again, this could be a time to really dive into what captivates your mind. The first card we have for Dolphin is where it's best for them to place their focus this next week. We got the Ace of Swords, which is always a card of triumph. When you take your power, when you take charge, the Ace of Swords says you can win. The Ace of Swords is crowned with victory. And the crown is dangled with two different branches. You can see a palm branch and an olive branch. The olive branch is a symbol for peace, and what this indicates is that you're going to create peace in your life if you go for it. And it sounds counterintuitive because sometimes we think, oh, if I go for this, it's a big risk, it makes me feel stressed out. But the Ace of Swords is saying, no, if you get this going, you're going to feel inner peace because you're acting in your own nature, you're acting in your best interest. And also that palm branch. Palm trees are very hardy trees. They can survive a hurricane and still stand afterward. And what this is saying is that you're hardy as well, that you're a survivor, that you can weather life's storms. But you have to choose to think of yourself in terms of being powerful without limit. The Ace of Swords, like all aces, is a card of creating new conditions in your life right now. And those conditions can only be created if you are claiming your power. Second card is advice from your inner wisdom this next week, and we get the King of Wands. He's a card of competency. The King of Wands is also a survivor. He's got that lizard next to him, which can really take the heat. And I write about the King of Wands in my book, Fearless Tarot, about how I feel like he is a self-made king. He wasn't born royal. He had to work his way up, slowly but surely. But he proved his mettle, and because of that, he's made a king later. Wands cards symbolize growth, so this could be a time where you're growing as well. But you need to step into your power. You really need to know that you're qualified, you're ready for this next choice, and that you're a leader. And then finally, the mythic archetype that is going to help you if you pick Dolphin is Iris, the messenger rainbow goddess from Greek mythology. She's the messenger of the queen of the gods, Hera. And when she comes in, she gives you positive messages. She also tells you to pay attention to messages that are being left on your path, little signs, signals. The universe is always trying to dialogue with you. You just might need to open your awareness and see the opportunity. Iris might come in with your opportunity for growth or success this next week as well. And then finally, we have the Porcupine spirit. And it says time for the beginner mind. And porcupines are playful. They don't have to worry about their safety in the animal kingdom because they have all these sharp quills. So they can afford to be a little bit more vulnerable or relaxed and just playful. So this could be a time where you need to affirm that you're protected, you're safe, and it's time to enjoy your life at this time. The first card is where it's best to place your focus if you pick the porcupine. And then we got the star card. The star is all about immortality, transcendence, wisdom. This is a card of reaching into your soul and touching the thing that's immortal within you. The star card is also a card that indicates that right now it's okay to take from that universal pool and pour some of its energy on the dry earth of your life next to you. It's time to bring some, vitality to it. Also, if you do invest in yourself right now, if you do draw from the universal pool, it's also important that you give back something of yourself. So oftentimes the star is associated with teachers or wisdom or sharing some sort of knowledge that maybe you have. The star is telling you that there's something important that your soul has come here to learn, and you've mastered it, and it might be time to share that knowledge with others. The second card is advice from your inner wisdom this next week if you picked this animal and you got the Two of Swords. So if you're porcupine and you get Two of Swords for advice from your inner wisdom, it says that things are in an in-between time. The woman on the Two of Swords is in between the sky and the sea. She's in between the new moon and the full moon. She's in between the two swords, but she's meditative. She can't see what's happening. She's blindfolded, but she's completely serene and calm. And because she's touching that immortal place within her, represented by the star card. This card is saying no matter what in-between thing you're in at this time of your life, you're going to be okay and centered if you can get back in touch with what's immortal within you, the higher purpose, the higher meaning, because the in-between times are the magical times of personal transformation. And then finally, we have the mythic archetype that is going to help you if you pick porcupine, and we got Hephaestus, the god of the forge. He's the creative god. He can represent that there's a creative work that you want to get involved in, that you want to invest in your work at this time, or basically that you just want to get busy at this time. Hephaestus is telling you to get the job done and maybe find an outlet to express your creative wisdom. And that is this week's Oracle. I do hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, you can always find me at elliotoracle.com and schedule a reading with me there. Otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful, safe, happy, and healthy week.